Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana, and on this channel it's all about SMS beauty, which is skincare, makeup, and sunscreen. And today, you guessed it, we're doing number 3, which is sunscreen. This is an exciting one. I've kind of been building toward this and like amassing my collection of products to share with you, and I finally have them all, and I've tried them, and I have my thoughts, hopefully. I don't know. I was gonna say final thoughts, but my thoughts do change, by the way. It's not to say that like if I recommend something one day and then like the next day I won't, but it's like, I don't know, my skin changes, the weather changes, all these things change. So, okay, so I have amassed all these products and my thoughts as well. And we're gonna just jump in and I'm gonna show you what they look like on my face. I'm gonna do like a compilation of each one so you can see the difference in the tones, because I think that's kind of the key here. And yeah, let's just jump in. Okay. If you cannot tell from the title, we are discussing glowy sunscreens. And I'm talking about like, not dewy, but like an actual sheen, a glow to them. So I have 3 products here. I actually have a 4th, which I'll talk about at the end. But these are the 3 that I'm talking about. And as I started buying them and collecting them, I'm a collector, I know. I realized that they really suit different skin tones, and that's kind of the main difference. Of course, they do have subtleties to them, and some people might like one versus over the other for other reasons, but I think you can kind of narrow it down into tone, and I should rearrange them. So this one is going to be the lightest. This is the Supergoop Glowscreen. People rave about this. I never liked it, and obviously I only have the small size because I was like, oh, maybe I should try it again. It's just not for my skin tone, and I think that is the main thing, which I will show you in a second. And then we have the new Sun Bomb Glow 30. This is what I would call like a light middle range. I think it can kind of work for people in more the tan skin tone or the light medium, like I said, or of course medium. And then we have the Isle Glow from K-Skin. This is these are actually, both of these are new. And this one I would say is more suited to tan and then like darker, deeper skin tones. You could also wear this if you're lighter, and it really would give you kind of like almost a fake tan look, I think. But that's kind of how I think of them. Of course, nobody is saying that that is correct or true, but that's just kind of in my head how I like break it all down. So I'm gonna go over the specs while I put them on my face, and then I'll kind of go through my thoughts at the end. So let's get going. Okay, so the glow screen is SPF 40 PA+++, which is very good to see brands that are American like Supergoop kind of instituting the PA rating system that's for UVA rays. This retails, you can get it in 3 sizes, so it kind of depends. I have the travel size, and I think this is like $15. The next size up is a smaller one as well. It's like 0.68 ounces, and you can get that for $20. And then there's a 1.7 ounce, which is the normal 50 milliliter size that retails for $36. And then you have the jumbo size, which is 2.5 ounces, and that retails for $46. This is a prestige brand. You are going to pay a little bit of a premium, but for the most part, people love Supergoop. So if this is a brand that like either speaks to you or you've tried in the past, it might be something that you really like. For me, as you can tell right now, it's a little too white. I think it's more like a pearl champagne color that just doesn't suit me, especially when I do have like a bit of a tan as my body is. But even when I'm at my palest, there's just something about this shade and this tone. It's just not for me, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. Like I think I could pull it off for sure, but I personally just don't vibe with it, I guess you could say. As far as your filters, this is what's called, they call it a clean chemical one. So it has 3% avobenzone, 5% octisalate, 10% octocrylene. Like I said, it's a pretty high rating, which is great. It's a pretty high SPF rating, which is wonderful. You can wear it as a primer, you can wear it under makeup, You can wear it alone. I do find that it dries down quite a bit. I wouldn't say that it is the most transfer proof. One of the others that I'm going to try out is, I think, a little bit more transfer proof, but overall this is one of their top sellers. I totally understand why. I think it looks beautiful in the summertime. You could put this on over a tan and like just glow to the gods. It's beautiful. So again, lighter skin tones definitely is kind of like where it's at for this one, but let's move on to the second one. Next we have the Sun Bum. This is the Glow 30. This is pretty brand new, I would say, like maybe a few weeks old. And they call this moisturizing sunscreen face lotion, broad spectrum, SPF 30, water resistant, 80 minutes. The Glowscreen, I don't believe, is water resistant. Dewy, radiant glow, non-comedogenic, and fragrance free. Yeah, the Supergoop one is not fragranced either, so these two are not fragranced. All right, let's put it on my face. And like I said before, this one I would say is more for like the middle range of skin tones, and it is quite watery, if you will. All right, so as you can see, I think, in my opinion, this is a bit better suited to my skin tone. Even so, it's not as dark as my body at the moment, but it has a very similar look to the Glowscreen, just a little bit different of an undertone. So that's why I say it's kind of better suited for like a middle range skin tone. This retails for $15.99. I found it on Ulta, which I think you can find it elsewhere, but right now that's just where I picked it up. And this is for 2 ounces. So this is 100% the best deal. This is the cheapest one there is out of the ones that I'm reviewing today. And it's a really good deal for something of this nature. This one is also not fragranced. It's really just kind of like a simple sunscreen. I think it's very similar to the Glowscreen. I think they probably used that as inspiration and then just took the price down quite a bit. So in terms of the filters in this, very similar to the Supergoop. You have 10% octocrylene, 5% octisalate, and 3% avobenzone. So another clean chemical. All of these are, actually all of them are chemical sunscreens. So that's just something, if you are interested in, that's just something to keep in mind as well. So I think this one is absolutely beautiful. You know, it does look glowy, but I feel like this one dries down probably this similarly to the Supergoop. It doesn't feel tacky, even though it looks like it should be, especially given it a few more minutes. It will kind of set to a level that is pretty tolerable for me. Nothing that my hair is going to get stuck to, which is a big thing. So, number 2, what do we think? I should mention, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but just because these are very glowy sunscreens, it kind of, in my opinion, often encourages people to use less because maybe they don't want to look like this. They don't want to look like a disco ball. But it's important to remember that even if you are wearing these, you should be using the correct amount, which is 1/4 teaspoon or about 2 finger lengths. You should always just kind of test it out though. Like maybe the first time you use it, put it in 1/4 teaspoon, and then you know kind of how much it is, and you can kind of do it with your fingers instead of having to use a teaspoon each time. But just because it is this glowy, you do have to use a lot. So if you don't want this level of glow, I would suggest layering it over another sunscreen. Okay. Time for number 3, BRB. Back baby, we're back for the Isle Glow. This is from K-Skin. This is a brand that Winnie Harlow came out with, and I have a video, I will post it above, going over both of her sunscreens. This is the chemical one. She also has a mineral one, but apparently that one like is not on Sephora or their website, so I don't know what's going on there. I did reach out, but they have not responded. So let's go through this one. As I mentioned from the very beginning, this one, in my opinion, is really good for darker skin tones, deeper skin tones, or tan skin tones, which is absolutely fabulous. I can't believe it took this long to get something that kind of fits for different skin tones, and it's just long overdue. So I was very excited to see this. Now, ta-da! As you can see, I think this one is a perfect complement to when I'm a little bit more tan and for deeper skin tones. It's just gonna blend in a lot better versus if you do have a deeper skin tone, especially like even deeper than me, and you use, say, the Glowscreen, it's gonna look kind of like white casty, but not really, but just because it's like the champagne silver undertone, it's just not gonna really like mesh with your tone. That's what I think, because I just think that this like golden undertone works really well when I have tan skin. That said, I can't use this all year round. In the winter, it would probably not look as great on me. Okay, so this one is SPF 45, which is wonderful. I'm so excited. This is the highest SPF out of all of them. So it kind of goes SPF 45, then you have SPF 40, and then SPF 30. So I love seeing that it's a higher SPF rating. That just really like warms my heart. It retails for $32 and comes in 1.5 fluid ounces, so around 45 milliliters. Not the most, but also, you know, it's a Sephora prestige brand, so I get that. Again, similar filters in this. We have 3% avobenzone, 5% octisalate, and 10% octocrylene. So once again, it's another chemical sunscreen. And of course, I didn't go over some of the other ingredients in all of these, but I would say for the most part, you know, I don't ever recommend going to your sunscreen for skincare benefits. Like, you need to use skincare to get those benefits and then sunscreen for those benefits. So kind of think of them separate. There are going to be some sunscreens that are maybe more moisturizing, and of course then you do get those levels of hydration and moisture from it, but it shouldn't be your only source of skincare. So this one is the only one that is scented, and I believe it does have essential oils in it, so if that's something that irritates your skin, this would be something to steer away from. But otherwise, I love how it feels. It goes on so smoothly. Sometimes I do get a little bit of kind of pooling on the edges, you know, like it's just from the pigment on around the edges, so make sure that you do spread that out. But it layers underneath makeup wonderfully. All of these do. And this one, again, dries down really nicely. Although it looks glowy, it's gonna be almost dry to the touch. You know, you might get some transfer, but it's not gonna be anything substantial. So I wore this when I was in Florida, and it wasn't one of those like hot Florida days, but it was still 75 or so. And it just wore beautifully. I thought that it looked great. I wore it with no other makeup, or maybe just like a little bit of concealer. And it's just one of those things that if this works for your skin tone, basically they're all gonna do the same thing. They're gonna give you this really healthy looking glow. You can put a little concealer, you can put makeup on, you can wear it alone. And I just think that they're really a spectacular part to have in your arsenal of sunscreens, if you do have an arsenal. So those are the three main ones, and I think they're so similar that like I'm not going to be able to say I like one over the other, because I don't really think that that is the point of this video. The point more so is to kind of say like, okay, I have a lighter skin tone, I should use a Supergoop, or maybe a darker skin tone, I should use the K-Skin, or maybe in the middle, Sunbum. I did want to show you one more sunscreen that when I was looking through, I didn't see any others that really had this kind of almost, it's not glitter, but like shimmery aspect to them. But I do have a few more that are gonna give you a different kind of glow. So if you are looking for a very glowy sunscreen, but maybe without like the actual pigment to it, these next few are gonna be maybe good options for you. Okay, so I wanted to go through just a few more that I think are gonna give you a nice glow like this one, but maybe without a little bit of the pigment or the shimmery aspect of it. So the first one I have is the Tula. This is the Protect and Glow. I put this on my face already. Didn't necessarily need to show you what it looked like going on, but it does look like it has like pigment, but that's really truly just the glow, and it's gonna kind of taper off as the day goes on. I just applied it. This one is a wonderful one. I have about that much left, so I should probably leave it out so I can use it up. But I clearly love this one, and I think it's a really great option. It does have SPF 30, so it's a little bit lower on the percentage, right, on the protection scale. Now, if you also want a glow to like probably the most extreme glow, this is the one that I would recommend. You can only get this in Europe. You can't get it in the US. This is the La Roche-Posay Hyla B5 Aqua Gel. Goes on invisibly, has quite a bit of a fragrance. So does this one, but gives you like a shine that is unmatched for sure. Also, I don't have much of this left. I should use it up. Now, all of these, the ones I've mentioned to this point, have been chemical, and I did want to include one mineral sunscreen that I think is going to give you a glow, but I kind of have to caveat it because if you're looking for a glow like this, you probably don't have oily skin, but if you do, this one is probably not the best for you. This is the Cott's Flawless Complexion. This is SPF 50, so the highest, and it's also the only mineral sunscreen that I'm including. This is going to give you the moisture and hydration that you seek if you have very, very dry skin, but it's also going to give you just this radiant glow throughout the day. So a lot of mineral sunscreens may go on and look kind of dewy and glowy, but they tend to actually dry down throughout the day because zinc oxide, that's one of the properties, it's just a drying ingredient. This one I have found, I put it on in the middle of winter when it's so dry and so windy out, and at the end of the day my face still has a glow to it. So if none of these work because they're not mineral, this one would be the option for you. I just kind of warn you that it can be a lot. This is like, not to say it's heavy, but it is very hydrating to put it lightly. So those are all of them. I think in terms of the top 3 that I was this video was about, they're really all standout ones, and I can't say necessarily like I dislike one or I like one over the other. It's just about like how tan am I, how light am I, whatever, that kind of thing. Of course, me and Supergoop don't always have the best relationship, but it's not anything against the brand. Like, so many people love this one, so I acknowledge that. But I am definitely happy that I found this one because I think it's a little bit better suited to my skin tone most of the year. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this helped. If you have any questions about glowy sunscreens, please do leave them in the comments below. Make sure you liked it, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.